welcome back to my channel. My name is Tess, if we haven't met already, and I am a licensed esthetician here on YouTube. Due to popular request, aka like two of you asking, I am bringing you a video talking about the relationship between skin and food. Now, I always like to say the body keeps score, and if something is amiss internally, the skin is usually first to reflect that. So in today's video, I'm going to be taking you inside my fridge, and I'm going to be talking about some really common triggers for certain skin conditions that typically arise from inflammation, such as acne and rosacea. I'm also going to show you guys what's in here and talk about a few of the foods that I eat to support overall skin health. Now, this video is very near and dear to my heart. I have struggled with chronic illness and inflammation ever since I was pretty young, starting in high school. I was chronically ill with hyperthyroidism. I couldn't gain weight. I was always nauseous. I would vomit. I did not feel well, and I was really not eating well. I didn't have an understanding of nutrition, and it was all playing out in my body, in my skin, and it's gotten me, all of that struggle has gotten me to the point I'm at today, where I actually still struggle with my thyroid. I have hypothyroidism and I have IBS. So I have learned so much about diet and food and wellness and how it plays into overall health in the body. I have seen enough naturopaths, holistic nutritionists, integrative medicine doctors, GI doctors to understand there's a significant relationship between what you eat, what you put in your body, and how it reflects on the skin. Now, all that said, I wanted to make a quick disclaimer. I'm not a dietitian. I'm not advising you how to eat. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm none of those things. I'm an esthetician. So I'm just sharing some widely held and widely proven facts and foods that may affect your skin. Now, my second disclaimer is I know food videos and foods talking about how to be healthy can be triggering to some, so I just suggest you click off the video if that might apply to you. At the end of the day, we want to make the best choices we can, and I want to present you guys with alternatives that you can choose to some of these things like sugar and dairy. But at the end of the day, we don't want to get into a pattern of overly restricting the body, because I think that is actually more damaging than having a glass of wine or some chocolate. The overall emphasis is on eating a lot of processed sugars or a lot of processed foods and dairy. Those choices can have an effect on the skin, but okay to treat yourself. I treat myself all the time to chocolate, different treats, so I'll show you guys what is in my fridge. I'm excited. If you guys like this video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up, subscribe for more videos, let me know in the comments what you would like to see next, and really quickly wanted to mention I do have a skincare podcast that is available. It's called The Treatment Room, so you can find it wherever you listen to your podcasts, and I will drop my Instagram and my TikTok handle right here. Just shameless self-promotion, and without further ado, let's get into the video. All right, my fridge is not super fancy. I did clean it out. I'm pretty good about cleaning it out, but this is not any like MTV crib style refrigerator. Okay, let's get started. The first thing I wanted to talk about was my probiotics. I know this is a pretty hot topic right now, and this is the one I take. It is a very high potency probiotic. It is called Visbiome, and it has 112.5 billion bacteria per capsule. But probiotics are, again, so important because anything is amiss in the body, it reflects in the skin, right? Your gut is one of those organs that is so closely tied to skin. Gut imbalance is a big factor behind inflamed chronic conditions such as rosacea and acne, both of which I struggle with. But the goal and the purpose of a probiotic is to strengthen and balance the gut. So these are super important. Digestive enzymes as well, another really helpful tool, and those are something to take, especially if you do feel like you overindulge. Have a little bit of a digestive enzyme just to help your body break things down. Oh my gosh, there's so much in here. I just went shopping for this video. I went to Trader Joe's, so these are some aside from the probiotic, these are some very affordable options. Okay, let's talk about the salmon. This is something I commit to buying every week, fish, and I also have a bit of albacore tuna. I really try to emphasize the amount of fish I eat. Salmon in particular, super high in omega-3s, which are going to moisturize your body internally. And the omegas also work to preserve collagen and battle any of that inflammation. So I try to focus on eating more fish than any other type of animal protein. This is also something that was recommended to me by my integrative medicine doctor when we're really looking at lowering inflammation. I'm not vegetarian or vegan, and that might work for some, but for me, we really focus on adding more fish to the diet and inherently kind of decreasing the amount of red meat and chicken I have in my diet. Not to say those are the devils, but just focusing on more fish. And sort of what we do is we look at the Mediterranean diet. That is an awesome diet for lowering inflammation. And when I say diet, I'm not speaking about looking at weight loss, but more so adding certain foods that help to reduce inflammation in the body, which is so key and crucial for me, something I am working on as somebody who gets sick pretty often. Okay, let's talk about fruit next, because this is something ever since I was young, I've always loved fruit. Like, I loved going to the farmer's market with my mom and just balling out on fruit. So as I have struggled with my autoimmune disease and looking at sources of inflammation, I have really had to pay close attention to sugar. And I'm going to dive into sugar a bit more later on in the video. But these are some great options as far as fruit. I love making smoothies. I will throw any type of berry in a bowl, do some coconut milk, do some seeds, chia, some flax, some pumpkin seeds, maybe some little coconut shreds, and make sort of like a homemade muesli, which is a really fun breakfast. But these are low sugar fruit options. I try to choose these fruits as my staples over things that are more high sugar fruits like pineapple, mango, a lot of the tropical fruits. Also something I discussed with my integrative medicine doctor and holistic nutritionist, was sort of avoiding the tropical fruits in favor of things like berries. And that's not to say I don't have the other fruits. I just bought some pineapple the other day. Dried mango is like my absolute favorite and my weakness. I can go through a whole bag. Frozen banana, another favorite breakfast of mine is frozen banana with some peanut butter. And it's just something I'm mindful of. You don't want to go overboard with anything, especially higher sugar fruits. So they still have their own nutritional values. It's just something I try to eat moderately and as more of a treat, a healthy treat, but a little bit of a treat nonetheless. Something I notice when I do go overboard, I notice that candida, that keratosis pilaris, which is that little bumpy texture on your arms. I just filmed a video about what I use to treat it, but that is something that really flares up for me on my arms. That is a sign of a sugar intolerance. I will get candida on my tongue. It'll get really white, which is too much information, but it's just something my body doesn't react the best with. So as we said, the body keeps score, and it's just something I make my choices mindful of its effects. On to the star of the show. This is one of my favorite foods, and it is spinach. So spinach is very high in vitamin A, which is going to work against dry skin. It also has lots of vitamin C, important for building collagen. And it also has vitamin E, which helps to fight inflammation internally. So I love spinach. I feel like it is one of those tasteless vegetables. You can get a huge thing like this for less than $5, and I try to just focus on adding greens to whatever meal I'm eating. So maybe it's a little spinach salad with some cashews in there and some lemon olive oil vinaigrette as a little side salad. Love throwing this in smoothies. I'll throw it in eggs. It is so versatile, so this is something I just like to always have on hand and have a lot of it. Next, I wanted to talk about coconut, one of my just favorite flavors. I love anything like tropical and coconut vibes, but this is one of the most nutritionally dense milk choices you can make. So I have normal coconut milk, not the best option, the Trader Joe's one, but pretty good. And here I have a little bit, kind of looks weird, but this is a coconut creamer. It comes in a powdered form and the brand is Laird's. So I will just mix it with hot water and then store it like this. And then you have perfectly rich, yummy coconut milk creamer for your coffee, iced coffee, hot coffee. So I love that. You can pour it on cereal. And then I have some little organic unsweetened coconut flakes. So coconut, super rich in fiber, high in vitamin C, if you can believe it. And the amazing, like, magical ingredient in coconut is copper. Copper is so important to strengthening our collagen and elastin, giving our skin that flexibility, that ability to bounce back, which gets less and less so as we age. So I try to incorporate a lot of coconut. It's such a good fiber and, again, a source of fat, so something you can sprinkle on top of your smoothie just to keep you a little bit more satiated for longer. Okay, I feel like celery has been like the it food of 2019, 2020, but it is an incredible food. Not only is it low in calories, which I'm not so much of a calorie person, but if you are somebody who likes to snack but wants to focus on reducing their overall calorie intake, celery is a great option. You can pair it with so many things. It's a pretty neutral taste, but this is such a hydrating food. It is 95% water, much like cucumber, another amazing food for skin. And I keep talking about vitamin C. Vitamin C is that potent antioxidant that is actually going to build up your collagen. I know we see a lot of like powders and miracle supplements, all these types of things that claim to be collagen builders. You can actually just focus on getting most of your nutrition through vitamin C rich foods that will actually build your collagen from the inside out. So super important. Love celery, also full of fiber. You can make a juice with it, which sort of takes out the fiber, but you would get a lot of hydration. So that is one of the reasons I like to make my little celery juice in the morning, have it first thing. Celery also is incredible for increasing your stomach acid, so it will just break down foods naturally. So sort of like a natural digestive enzyme, which we love. Another surprising vitamin C food, avocados. I could not film a skin health video without talking about avocados. This is high in vitamin C and vitamin E, which is incredible if you are a dry skin type for really moisturizing your skin from the inside out. And they just taste amazing. Put these on everything. You can make the little Kourtney Kardashian avocado pudding. I've tried that. It's amazing. Just blend the avocado with coconut milk, a little bit of honey and ice. Incredible. Avocado toast. I will add this into smoothies if I want it to be a little bit creamier. The possibilities are endless. Salads, avocado, eggs, a million things. Another really important, just superfood, incredible for your skin health is kale. High in vitamin A, C, K, so many things. It's these dark, leafy greens that have the phytonutrients and are so beneficial for your skin, for increasing that cell turnover, for, again, producing collagen. So love me some kale. This is a really easy, just go-to thing to grab. I didn't realize it comes with a dressing, which I prefer to make my own dressings. So they are That way you get to take out a little bit of the sodium and the other things that are additives, and it just tastes cleaner and more fresh. I just prefer it that way. I do love something that's pre-shredded, so I don't have to go through the trouble of washing and cutting it up, and it's just easy to grab and go. I feel like if something is convenient and fun and just easy for you to grab and make, you're more likely to make better choices. Another incredible like powerhouse food is carrots, super high in beta carotene, which is going to fight inflammation, which is the name of the game, as you guys already know. Also super high in vitamin C. It's basically a wound healer. It's going to help speed up the healing process if you struggle with trauma from acne or environmental damages. Next, one of my absolute favorites, watermelon, high in vitamins A, C, and B6. If you struggle with dry, inflamed, mature skin, watermelon is so intensely hydrating and internally soothing. So this is one of my favorite little summer pick-me-ups. Okay, now that I've pointed out some of my favorite things I love to include in my diet, I want to talk about some of the most common triggers for skin conditions. Let's start with the big offender. This is, if I had to pinpoint one to just try out if it's a big deal for you, try eliminating. Elimination diet is a great tool if you have a sneaky suspicion something is triggering your acne. Try removing it from your diet for 2 to 3 weeks. See how you go. Okay, let's start with the big one. I'm sure you guys can guess it, but this is the most common trigger I see amongst my clients who struggle with acne. So I don't know if you guys can guess, but it is dairy. Dairy tends to cause a lot of problems for people, especially with their skin. 65% of the population cannot actually digest it because of lactose intolerance, and dairy does cause the skin to overproduce oil, which can lead to acne. Another big reason it can trigger acne is the added hormone. So make sure if you do choose a cheese, you opt for organic. And typically signs of a dairy intolerance in skin manifest in whiteheads along the jawline. This is a already very hormonal area, especially amongst women. So if you struggle with hormonal acne, typically having a diet that is full of dairy will be just additionally problematic. So didn't want to leave you guys hanging. I wanted to show you guys some of my alternatives for cheese, because I used to be such a cheesehead. I never thought I could take it out of my diet, and after I did, which was mostly due to just seeing a naturopath and her strongly suggesting I take it out to just balance my inflammation, I took it out, and then I didn't miss it. So that's personally what happened to me. But since then I have experimented. I see things that look fun and I want to try them out. So I'll show you. So these are some of the options that I love. I have the BioLife Just Like Cheddar shreds. Now this is from Whole Foods, and this brand is phenomenal. They have so many options for different types of cheese. So if you are a stubborn cheese lover, just give it a try, melt it. I think it's better when you melt it. They also have the Just Like Parmesan, which I love this just on pasta or gluten-free pasta, or just with a little Honeycrisp apple. I was just talking to one of my Derma Plus clients who her favorite snack, she's somebody who has struggled with acne, but her favorite snack is apples and cheese. So I just sent her a little message. I said, pick this up, you won't miss your cheese. And then if I am going to indulge in a real cheese, I will opt for something that is not actual cow's milk. This is one of my favorites. You guys might think it's weird, but this to me is a treat. It is the Trader Joe's blueberry vanilla goat cheese. You're either like, that sounds so good, or that sounds absolutely disgusting. But I love this with one of my next items, which I will show you. Next thing I want to talk about, which I think can also be a sore spot for some people, is gluten. So gluten tends to trigger inflammation. It can present in puffy red cheeks or acne again. These are some gluten alternatives I have. Gluten has surprisingly been the easiest diet choice for me to sacrifice and transition to something else. When I saw my naturopath for the first time, we talked about dairy and gluten and sugar as the biggest offenders. So this has not really been hard for me, just because brands have become so savvy and created so many different new options. To me, it's almost more fun to experiment with new brands. So this is a go-to. This is the blanched almond flour, and I love making any type of baked goods with this, or I will make a no bake kind of like cookie dough little bar concoction. So this is awesome to have on hand, or coconut flour, whatever you like. Favorite cracker, hands down, of all time, and this is something I love to have with the goat cheese. This is the Hue Get Back to Human grain-free cracker. So not only gluten-free, it is grain-free. These are delicious. I could eat a whole box. They are phenomenal, and I also love the chocolate from this brand. And everyone knows Bonza. I think I actually just turned my parents onto this because they actually hadn't really heard of it, but they're blown away by how realistic it tastes. Even my boyfriend, before we started dating, he didn't really know what this was, and now he loves it. He is hooked. I didn't think I was going to get him on the dairy-free cheese either as an Italian person, but he likes this and my dairy-free cheese, so if he likes it, I feel like anyone will. Bonza makes so many incredible options. They make shells, they make spirals, they make an amazing mac and cheese, so definitely have to check them out if you are somebody who loves traditional pasta and hasn't really given that up yet. Something to think about. Next, this might be like the hardest thing that I struggle with, and that is sugar. So I've become pretty good at giving up processed sugars just because there's so many amazing alternatives, right? There's monk fruit, there's coconut sugar. Monk fruit is incredible because it doesn't spike your blood sugar. So I will look for treats that have a sweetener such as monk fruit or stevia instead. So some of my favorites, because I am a sweet tooth person, I'm a chocolate person, I'm a dessert person, so these are some of my favorite chocolates. This is it's almost gone, the Lily's dark chocolate with sea salt. Incredible. This one I haven't tried, and I just grabbed it because I'm not trying to, it's quarantine, not trying to go to the grocery store just for my favorite chocolate as I probably normally would. So this is from Trader Joe's. It does have milk, but it's a treat, right? We're not going to have it all the time. And then this is just like a personal favorite. I'm obsessed with dried mango because I either crave chocolate or something kind of tart and sour. So maybe if you're somebody who's really into like candy sour strips, maybe just give like a little mango a go and see if that satisfies the craving. The reason we want to try to minimize our sugar is sugar causes glycation. Glycation in the skin is essentially just ramping up that aging process, which I'm pretty sure none of us really want to do. Sugar also really disrupts the bacteria in our gut, so it's something I gotta be mindful of because an influx of sugar just really feeds that bad bacteria. And as somebody who, I found out I have IBS probably about 2 months ago, so it was a new diagnosis for me, but possibly a link to kind of getting closer to figuring out my health and wellness and how I can minimize that inflammation. Now I know my gut is really sensitive to imbalance and sugar, so it's something that I'm mindful of. Sugar can present in a few different things. It can present in pustular acne, usually something that it's inflamed. It doesn't have like a clear whitehead, so it's a little bit more difficult to extract, and a lot of times you don't want to extract it at all. It can present as breakouts on the forehead or just inflamed pustular acne all over. It can also be dryness in the forehead and overall just thinning skin that tends to look like it's prone to advanced aging. Next, I wanted to talk about alcohol as the last sort of main trigger for the skin. Alcohol can also lead to glycation because it does contain sugar, and alcohol tends to be very dehydrating. It's pulling out that water and that moisture in your skin, so it can really lead to more obvious fine lines and signs of aging. It can also result in enlarged pores, as well as flushing and just more obvious inflammation, heat in the skin. If you are somebody with rosacea, it's something you want to be mindful of. And maybe if you do decide to drink alcohol, you can choose tequila as opposed to wine, which has a lot of sugar and vasodilators. So tequila is a little bit of a better option. When it comes to alcohol, I'm somebody who doesn't drink, which I know is a little bit unrelatable, but if you struggle with chronic health conditions, my good days are so few and far between that I never would want to sacrifice them for something like a hangover or just weaken my immune system further. And I really don't enjoy the process of being hungover, being sick. I'm somebody who, I don't know if it's an allergy, but instantly after drinking, I just don't feel well, and it really carries over to 2 to 3 day type of hangover. So for me, it's not something I'm willing to do. But here is a little suggestion if you are somebody who just likes to have a cocktail but wants to sort of wean your way off drinking as much alcohol. I love to just do a carbonated beverage. I look for something that does not have any added sugar because that will make your hangover even worse, and then you're getting the alcohol and the sugar from your cocktail, which results in all those skin issues we just talked about. So this is the AHA sparkling water. There's so many fun just sparkling drinks, so you can make yourself a little mocktail. I love to do this with a lot of citrus, either lemon or lime on ice, and I will throw in like 1 or 2 little CBD drops if I really want to feel fun. So just a little option I thought I would throw out there. You can throw in some frozen fruit, muddle some mint, whatever you want to do, and then you still have the experience. You don't feel like you're left out of holding a drink. So just something to think about. All right, guys, that is it for this video. Now that you have seen my fridge and what's in my pantry, I hope you guys enjoyed and took some things away from it. So please comment below, let me know what you thought or any questions that might come to mind. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you so much. I hope everyone is doing good, and I will see you in the next video.